G'day YouTube, Ms. Glaber here. Thought we might start early, because why not? We can. And the earlier we start now, the earlier we can do the next flight, which will be over to Darwin. So, we are in Wyndham right now. We're going to be taking the old Beechcraft Dutchess over to Kalumburu. Let's have a look at our flight plan. There's Wyndham right there. We'll be trucking out of here. Now, we're not going to go straight through, which is 115 miles. I'm intending to fly the coastal route, so we'll probably track outbound heading north and just fly just inshore. Somewhere around here there's a large double waterfall called King George Falls. It's essentially two waterfalls kind of coming off the same river. You can see it there. So hopefully fly over there. With any luck they will have shown this kind of configuration up in the scenery. No guarantee of that though, but we'll at least see the river going into the ocean over a cliff. And King George Falls. Once we pass King George Falls, we'll head on down to Kalumburu. It's not night, it's afternoon. So it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We should get into Kalumburu at about 4:30, something like that. It's only an hour and a half. And yeah, should be a nice little flight. The weather's pretty good, showing a cloud nice and clear up there. Just got to grab my, what's it called, NAPES, logging that in now. Yeah, no, I should have done that before I started the broadcast, but I forgot. So I'm going to pick up NAPES location briefing for the next hour or so. YWYM for Wyndham. What's Kalumburu? It's YKAL. And I pretty much doubt that there's going to be any weather station there. Oh, there is. Cool. Automated, but it still works. So at Wyndham we have wind 130 at 9 knots. Temperature's 37 degrees Celsius, even though it's like early winter. There's no such thing as a winter in the north, it's just a dry season. At Kalumburu it's much the same. We have 35 degrees. And the QNH over there, 1008, 1009 here. And we do of course have the... actually no, there's no weather system over there. So the meteorological information is only via the text that we just saw. Here at Wyndham we do of course have the AWIS, so we'll go over the aeroplane and pick that up now. Let's head on over to the aeroplane. Apparently Lachlan has his AUV2 scenery still activated, so he's got a Ferrari out here. We don't have a Ferrari, we just have this old truck and a Jeep. And this is his not a Diamond DA62. So it's bigger than Diamond 62. Unfortunately, Diamond 62 doesn't show up in the aircraft list because it's a new ICAO. That's a relatively new development. I think they were only type rated in 2017. Might have been in 2018, for all I know. But yeah, within the last 3 years or so. VATsim takes its time to update these things. Griff Aviator's finished his walk around. I haven't even started mine. No DAP's departure approach procedures. What you're looking for is something like this. So click on I agree, and the cursor is that one there. Just can't see who's calling me. It's Mum. Hello. How you doing? Yeah. I'll get that sorted for you in about an hour and a half. Yeah, I say. So, yeah. Alrighty, so we're going to have to turn on the battery, get the flaps out. Cool, flaps are out, battery off. I want the en route one, that's via the charts. So the en route is that AIP charts, and we're using low at the moment. That'll give you that map. That's number 6. Map number 6 out of the low charts. The low charts don't show you any CTAF information, just to be aware. Apart from these area CTAFs. 128.0. That's backed up in your URSA. URSA is per airport, and the other thing is just an area map showing the coastal outline. Anyhow, first thing to do once you get off the back of the airplane is checking the flaps, making sure they move ever so slightly but not too much. The ailerons all happy. There's a pitot static up the front here. Make sure it's not blocked and there's nothing, no tags on it. Here's this wonderful tie down that we did. It is literally a tent peg kind of stuck into the ground with a hammer, and then you just tie down the tie down to the tent peg. Get that sorted in a second. Props looking happy, and you probably want to do the oil from there. So just open up the oil cover, take a look, make sure the oil is the right colour and stuff. Looking in the front of the engine here, we have a fueling thing. Now I think we refueled again from the Bowser last time we came here. So we'll be taking, I think, full tanks. I'll just double check that. Because we need to survive this trip and the next one after that. Because Kalumburu doesn't have any fuel. You have to get all the way down to Broome on one tank of fuel. I'm just going to check how much fuel we do have. Vehicle fuel and payload. Yep, 100%. Beautiful. Cool. And sit underneath the wing, just between the engine and the fuselage is actually the fuel drain point underneath here, the lowest point in the tank. It's actually really hard to get into. So stick your fuel drain up in there. Cool. Done. There's the big nose of the aeroplane. Just checking the tyre at the bottom. Is all good. You get another fuel drain. Bottom of the tank here. That's all good. Checking the engine. Once again, props all good. There's nothing inside the air intakes. Open up the oil panel, which is right there. Pop that open, have a look inside, make sure the oil, there's enough of it and it's the right colour. Needs to be kind of like brown straw colour, not black. There's a landing light. Light on the wing. Once again, we'll look inside the fuel. Open the fuel cap. Here it is full. CTAF frequency for today is up here, 128.0 for Northern Kimberley BA for operations in this area. Surface to 8,500, use the CTAF 128.0. Winglet. here, we're pulling it up. Engines won't start, well there's, you know, always the Control E. It's possible that you don't have your fuel set. That's the thing that gets me on this aeroplane a couple of times so far, that the fuel wasn't set properly. Alright, so the tie downs are out, the wheel chocks are done, and we can shut the door. Okay, need to check our pre-flight. Parking brakes set, avionics are off, still checking that, yes it is. Mixed residual cutoff, magnetos are all off. Fuel gauge, check quantity. Sure, I'm completely full. Warning lights check. And the flaps have been checked. Battery goes back off, we'll check the flight controls. Baggage door is closed, trim, set neutral. Flaps and other ones have been checked, wing tips, they're all good, tie downs are removed. Fuel tanks are 100%, shocks are removed, tow bars removed, and oil's good. Props are good, landing lights were checked, fin is good, rudder is set neutral. Stabilizer trim is good, and I'll check the controls now. Yep, that's working well. Alright, before start checklist, brakes are set. Landing gear is down, circuit breakers are all in, carburetor heat is off. Cowl flaps open. Avionics are off, fuel selectors are on. Light switches are off. Battery on. Underbolt lights good, mixture coming up rich. Start the left engine first. Throttle to about a quarter. Auxiliary pump on. And we'll do the prime. Good stuff. Times are wrong. You contact Brisbane Centre, you don't even need to talk to them really, just monitor them after you leave the CTAF zone. CTAF is about a 10-mile bubble around the airfield. So take off, make sure you stay below 8,500 on the CTAF, and once you leave the 10-mile bubble then you switch over to Brisbane Centre. You don't need to talk to them if you don't want anything from them. But if you do want flight following or something like that, then give them a chat, expect a squawk code. Alright, looking outside. Clipper up. Come on, there it is. That didn't like me. Come on, move that thing. How can I? There we are. Still doesn't like me. RPM set.
Traffic Wyndham, Victor Tango X-ray, radio check.
Read your 5 pound up me.
5 pound.
Reading fine. Okay.
1000 RPM set.
My model matching's drunk.
TOS, system test okay.
And we'll turn that bit on. Close the window as well. And this side. Need to move up. Cracked open. It's door cycling now. There we go, second engine's running. We're going to stick in the flight plan YKAL. Let's give us a position. And over CTAF. Also have Brisbane Centre on 133.2, we'll get that ready. Cool. Should listen to the weather.
Are you filing flight plan?
Cool. Pull that through.
Automated Weather Information Service, Wyndham Airport. Time 0523 Zulu. Wind 100 degrees magnetic at 5 knots. Temperature 37. Dew point 17. QNH 1008 hectopascals. Rainfall last 10 minutes nil.
Okay, 1008. Down that side. 98. There it is. Okay, it's going to be runway 12, that's the one closest to us. Just behind us, really. Traffic Wyndham, Hotel Kilo India is a Beechcraft. Dutchess, taxiing out from the grassed area onto runway 12. We'll give us a call before we enter the runway. Okay, before we do move, getting some lights on. Let's move it. Come to stop just before the beginning of the runway. Mixture fully rich. Doing some engine run-ups. It's from 20 RPM. 20 manifold, sorry. Ever so slight drop. RPM. God, lights are in. Transponder is on. Flaps coming up.
X-ray Mike Foxtrot, who's going first, me or you?
Evening, sir.
Victor Tango X-ray, would you like to go in front of
10
me?
degrees. Sorted.
Which one are you? I might be able to taxi out, and then you can slot in front.
Yeah, alright, I'm Kilo Sierra Golf.
Cool, we'll start moving.
You can go up front, but I'll go taxi anyway. Traffic Wyndham, Victor Tango X-ray is a Diamond Data 62, taxiing out to runway 12, traffic Wyndham.
Traffic Wyndham, Hotel Kilo India is a Beechcraft Dutchess entering runway 12 backtrack. Hi there, Sean. Yeah, we'll be doing the milk run, but we'll be doing the milk run a little bit later. This little flight should only take about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and then we'll be on to milk run by 6. Traffic Wyndham, Hotel Kilo India, departing runway 12, left hand downward. Alright, we're departing.
Traffic
12,
Wyndham,
turning left.
Beechcraft 717 Tango is taxiing for runway 12, Traffic Wyndham.
Good power, 80 knots.
Traffic Wyndham. X-ray Mike Foxtrot will be taxiing to holding point runway.
To rake, you're up. And the flaps.
Traffic Wyndham, Kilo Sierra Golf, we're just gonna go behind any of you, I don't mind.
500. No, I'm not going to fly the 787 on this milk run, sorry. I want to try the
Traffic
71.
Wyndham, Kilo Sierra Golf, taxiing to holding point for runway 12. Kilo Sierra Golf.
Who's going first? Oh, okay.
Kilo Sierra Golf, we'll go first, taxiing to holding point on runway 12.
I'll go second.
I'll go 4.
Wyndham traffic, Kilo Sierra Golf, entering runway 12, backtrack.
Hi there, Titan Spectre, how you doing? Good to see you. Okay, we do want to track northbound into that bay off to our right. Just getting over this ridge line first. Gonna reduce mixture a little.
Wyndham traffic, Kilo Sierra Golf, departing runway 12 for left hand downwind. Runway 12, Kilo Sierra Golf. Looks like someone just spawned on runway 12. Oh, never mind. Departing runway 12, Kilo Sierra Golf.
Traffic Wyndham, Victor Tango X-ray will be entering runway 12 for a backtrack after the King Air has left the runway. Victor Tango traffic Wyndham.
Climbing to about 4,500, I reckon. Doing that northbound turn.
Kilo Sierra Golf, we're turning right downwind, Wyndham traffic.
Popping into the west arm of Ord River, and there's Adolphus Island just in between the west arm and the east
Traffic
arm.
Wyndham, Kilo Sierra Golf, we're going to climb to 5,000 feet. Kilo Sierra Golf.
I'd probably stay 4,500 for a bit. A little under 25, probably about 24-minute hold pressure.
Turning circle is so slow.
And we are leaving the zone. Switch over to
Traffic
the
Wyndham,
Brisbane
Victor
Centre.
Tango X-ray is
Okay, so essentially we keep the coastline just off the front of the aeroplane here. We'll pass Adolphus Island on the way up and head up towards the Scambridge Gulf. Once the Scambridge Gulf opens up into the open ocean, which I believe is at Arufa Sea, or the Joseph Bonaparte Gulf, we'll then make a left-hand turn and keep the shoreline just on the top. And the major thing that we want to see on this flight is the King George Falls, which is part of the King George River. King George River kind of shunts over a 300-foot drop. It actually splits up because there's an island right in the middle of the waterfall. So the King George River splits into two, drops over a cliff, and in the plunge pool at the bottom it recombines into a single river again. So it's only like split up for the actual waterfall. The effect is you get two different waterfalls flopping over the cliff. It's quite a good looking feature actually. You can see that. On the website, King George Falls. So if any luck will see this, you can see the single river coming through, getting split apart by this island, which is a gorge essentially. Then it turns into the big river again at the bottom. So I can climb it again up to 6,005. David Hood from Texas, g'day. Hope you're doing well there in the States. Hope you had a good Easter. Nearly the end of Easter for us in Australia. It's Monday, so we have a public holiday today, which is why I'm not working. Back to work tomorrow though. To be honest, I haven't looked at what runway we're landing on yet, so let's see. Kalumburu. What's the weather doing at Kalumburu? Wind is 050 at 7. So runway 10. Yep, this is P3D version 4. And yeah, switch to Brisbane Centre. You don't need to talk to them unless you need something from them. But there's no real reason to be pattering around in the CTAF until you need the CTAF, which is 10 minutes out from Kalumburu. And Lachlan, you go to Brisbane Centre when you feel like it, and you don't even need to check in at all. Don't say anything to them at all. Unless you want to pick up an IFR clearance or get flight following, a spot check for traffic, if you get lost and need a vector to somewhere. They're the reasons that you talk to Brisbane Centre, or to declare an emergency if you want to. One of those things.
Sorry, excuse me, John, 25.
But you're outside of control airspace, so they don't need to talk to you at all. Those clouds look a little lower than 6,500.
Yeah, just requesting 5 minutes away from the cockpit, sir.
2505, that's approved, report back.
Report back, John, 2505, thank you.
Yeah, you need to be on the CTAF at least 10 miles out. Suggestion is to tell the CTAF that you're inbound about 10 minutes before you arrive there. If you know how to do that. Of course, on my aircraft I've got this wonderful GPS system that tells me what time I'll be arriving there.
Just 920.
So I'll just talk to the CTAF at 5 minutes past the hour. But if you don't know how to do that, do it say 15 miles out. Say, we're currently 15 miles out, tracking to whatever runway. Entering circuit time in whatever you reckon the estimate is. Speed over distance equals time.
Brisbane Centre, good afternoon, JustStar 444.
Just to say, speed
JustStar 444,
divided by the distance that you have to travel, that's speed in ground speed, equals the amount of time in hours, decimal point. So times the time by 60, and you'll get the time in minutes. So for instance, if I took, what's our ground speed right now? It is 164. I'm going to go ahead and chuck that in the calculator because my math skills suck. 164 divided by distance 15 equals time. I've done that wrong. It's the other way around, isn't it? Distance over speed, that's 15 divided by 164 equals that. That looks correct. Times 60 equals 5 minutes. 5.5 minutes. Okay, there's 3.5. We'll stay about there for the moment. Trim it up for level flight. Gonna come back to about 23. Hands off, no autopilot, things flying steady. Oh, you're almost certainly going to be landing before I do, because I'm flying the coastline.
920, no problem.
So I'm almost tracking directly north at the moment. I'm going to be turning left with the coast, and we're doing a couple of orbits around King George Falls. Yeah, we're going to be dallying around for a good half hour. No point coming up this far north without seeing the landmarks. That there is Adolphus Island. It's an uninhabited island. No one lives there, not even Aborigine people. It's just a random island. Ah, the falls. They're on the coastline almost. So we're going to track northbound to that first bay that we see. So you'll see this big chunky river. And they're right there. So essentially this is me here tracking northbound. I'm going to go all the way to the top of the coastline and then hit the coastline. And it should be pretty obvious by the time we hit this point here, where the falls are. There's this very distinctive inlet with a river coming straight off the middle of it. So I'll just go up that river. Roughly there. And my FPM is. There's that little bay just under the letter P. That's where the falls are. I think we can do ever so slightly more speed than that. Couple of stabs at the trim button. Of course, you add more power and then it just starts climbing to maintain the same airspeed, because it's trimmed for that speed. Just a touch of turbulence as we went over, I'd imagine, the leeward side of that hill. It's just pushed us up into an updraft slightly. So that bit of water right here is the Scambridge Gulf, S-C-A-M-B-R-I-D-G-E, Scambridge. Don't know what it's named after, let's have a look. So the first European into this area was 1819, HMS Mermaid, which, considering just before he got into Darwin, we're looking at places that Europeans were hanging around in the 1600s, early 1600s. Here we are in a place that nobody came into until the 19th century. Anyway, leaving the Cambridge Gulf here, we have Lacrosse Island, L-A-C-R-O-S-S-E, just like the sport. And that little island there, Lacrosse Island, is an important nesting area for the flat-necked sea turtle. Anyhow, that's the Cambridge Gulf. We're going to move into the Joseph Bonaparte Gulf now, which is straight ahead. And we're going to go ahead and turn left to stay on coastline. Lachlan Boyd saying he's at Forest River Mission. Well, we're going to go ahead and climb. Now that cloud is a little bit lower than I expected it. I'm suspecting it looks to be about 4,000, 4,500 at best. So I guess we'll stay here at 3,005. Cool, so we're heading to Kalumburu today. At some point later in the week, maybe on Friday, we'll take it down to Broome. And I'm looking to change airplanes at Broome. Don't know what into yet. I have to think about it. It won't be the Diamond, and it won't be this plane, and it probably won't be the VTOL either, because I've spent plenty of time in the VTOL leading up to this point. After Broome, we track inland for quite a significant amount of time. So this flight and the one after that, when we have the horizontal floors, are going to be quite interesting on the coastline. After that, we're going to spend a few months kind of tracking it inland through the eastern part of Western Australia, northeast part. Fairly distinctive little bay coming up here. Google's not giving me names on these rivers or bays for some reason. All I can say is it looks like some fairly rugged landscape. Lots of rock, bare rock with no vegetation on top. A little bit like all the stuff that's around at Catherine Gorge actually. If these rivers running through rock, sandstone I imagine. Yet another reason why this part of the world isn't particularly well developed, apart from the, you know, the odd cyclone that comes through to destroy everything. You've also got this bare rock around the rivers, big chunky cliffs that just drop into the sea. Yeah, Esperance and Port Lincoln's pretty bare as well. We're going to be flying the Beechcraft Duke on that sector. We're going to be coming out of Murrin straight into Ayers Rock without stopping. So we're going to be heading on up to about flight level 220 and, well, 210 and just blasting along at however fast it can go in the good old pressurized twin turbine. So Google Earth doesn't even have a name for this river. Don't know why. There's an impressive looking island just up here.
Velocity 9710 contact, Brisbane, center now 133.7.
And once we get a little bit further along to the west, you can see this massive kind of cliff face into the ocean there. There's no beaches here. Just rock, 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 sea. Wouldn't want to have to survive out here on your own for any particularly long length of time. I suppose you could fish the river or the sea. Crocodiles. Crocodiles will be a major issue on the river. Let's just put it that way. Wollongongu Pool coming up. Alright, so after Reveille Island, which is that one up there, there is something called the Berkeley River Lodge, and there's actually a small airfield, a dirt strip that they use as a runway up there. I don't believe that's part of the OZX scenery. It's probably just a default strip of mud. Yeah, this is quite interesting. That is an island due to this tiny little, that's creek, river, lagoon, salt water that joins that bit of the sea to that part of the sea. Going to go ahead and close these up a little bit. Yep, that's Reveille Island just off the coast there, and the river next to Reveille Island is the Wollangooyu. Wollangooyu. There we go. I literally just did a search in Google for the name of Wollangooyu, and it came up with literally nothing. You might try Berkeley River Lodge or Reveille Island. So, the Berkeley River Lodge. There's the website. Not a bad little spot, look at that. Wonderful beach. Only way to get there is assess a caravan. That's them down there. There's the little roads. So I don't even see, oh, that might be the airfield right here. Yeah, I'm not going to fly over that. I do need to switch back to the CTAF to let them know we're over the top. Traffic, Berkeley River Lodge. Beechcraft Dutchess, Hotel Kilo India is 3,500, tracking overhead Berkeley River Lodge towards the northwest, tracking the coastline. Berkeley River Lodge. Get the weather via NAPES and AIPS. Location briefing. Kalumburu. Wind 050 at 7. QNH 1008. Temperature 35. And no significant weather. Yep, 128.0 is indeed the CTAF for Kalumburu. Everything down here is on the same CTAF. Traffic Berkeley River Lodge, Hotel Kilo India is now west of the field, tracking away at 3,500. That's where we're headed. Okay, Eric Island and Elsie Island over there. Yep, we're on VATSIM. There's Vatastic, that's me there. Is that me? Yes, that is me. Cool. Everyone else is way south over the land. We're trucking out towards the King George Falls. It's Elsie Island just off the wing, can't see it anymore. I'm thinking we need a fast, high wing aircraft for the inland legs, because there's a few very interesting landmarks on the way down south, including an impact crater from a meteor, asteroid or whatever, that hit the ground a few billion years ago. Carlo, they added voice unicom with the new codec, which was last October. Been about 6 months ago. As distance divided by speed, and times the result by 60. That's in minutes. Lost 500 feet somewhere in there. I'm going to go ahead and climb it up again. Power going up to 24. Whatever speed you use, you have to divide it by the same unit. So if you're using knots, you have to divide nautical miles. If you're using kilometres,
For Bar Oscar,
divide by
Hotel
kilometres per hour.
disconnected climb flight level 260.
Like unit for like unit. You can't divide kilometres per hour into nautical miles, because that wouldn't make any sense. And it's also your ground speed, not your airspeed, because you might be powering into a 50 knot headwind, and math didn't account for that. So it's ground speed, and the distance measurement is in the same as your speed measurement. Yep, we'll be doing milk run. I'm thinking very closely of doing the 717 tonight, because they've just released the update to it sometime last week, and we get to get into that aircraft and fly around.
Last station unreadable.
This thing here is called Seaplane Bay. It's going to move out so you can see it from the pilot side wing.
Flight Level 498 Brisbane Centre, geared A, climb flight level 200.
Flight level 200, flight level 498.
So Google's listing this place here as Seaplane Bay. Kind of an unusual name for a bay.
I believe he's gone AFK.
That's me.
Okay, because he just connected back 30 seconds ago, so he should not have gone AFK at this stage.
Yeah, no, he's not even responding to calls at mine.
Yeah.
Now this is a part of the GA around Australia, so it's just doing one entire lap of the entire country. Technically I do plan to do a return flight of the entire country when we get the new sim. So Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 will do the same route essentially, but backwards. That's, I think it's called Rocky Island. There you go, external view to see that. It's not really an island, but they were thinking it was an island. It's a bit swampy in the back end. Yeah, that weather is a login account because they don't want people. They don't mind people using it. They don't want robots using it. Because then they're wasting bandwidth for some, you know, online network or flight simulator pilots to download weather every 5 minutes, which would be a pain.
Brisbane Centre, velocity 2011 at flight level 380.
Velocity 2011, Brisbane Centre, good day. You identified, maintain 380.
Maintain flight level 380, velocity 2011.
So a single individual register, log in, then you could read the weather. You log in once every hour or so, and that's fine. As if you were, for instance, say a vatsim, trying to pull weather for the entire continent and inject it into a network every 5 minutes. They don't want you doing that. Don't have a phone number? That's unfortunate. Make one up. But these wonderful, like, rivers depressed into the ground there. So our fuel burn is thing doesn't actually have a fuel burn gauge. You have to
Stream calling, say call sign only.
I suppose.
Velocity 1655.
Velocity 1655, confirm it's 1566.
Just stand by one. Yeah, velocity 1566, Brisbane Centre,
Velocity 1566,
so anyway, the Dutchess
go
in
ahead,
cruise position with the fuel lean down should be burning about 11 gallons per hour per side of engine, so it's 22 an hour.
168.6 miles off due pool.
Velocity 1566, report your estimated time for due pool and squawk 4332.
I need my phone because I'm working from home, and if I didn't have a phone I wouldn't be able to work from home. I just would be unemployed. So yeah, my phone at the moment is my employment. So I'll log into the works phone system, and the way it works is it hides my, well, essentially the guys at work call the work number, and then the work number diverts straight to me.
4332, and confirm your estimated time for
so it'll be, if New South Wales text call,
332 and just stand by.
It'll probably end up going to me, whereas if the say Western Australia text call, it will probably go to someone else, unless someone else is busy, and then it might go to me. So it's kind of round robin. But yeah, there was a question there from Blake Pools on fuel burn. We don't actually have a fuel burn system on the aeroplane. The rule of thumb is that this aircraft uses 22 gallons per hour. If it's correctly leaned out. Actually, I'm slightly more than that now because I'm actually higher than my rated cruise speed. We're going to bring that back down to the 23. There's 25, 24, 23. So 2300 on the manifold and leaned out correctly so that we're at just under the lean. So just slightly richer peak. Cool, we could go up north there. Essentially goes up and around and back again. I'm considering going ahead and flying straight through this peninsula, so we don't need to go around. And then we'll essentially end up where the falls are, which are in that little bay there. There's the King George River, and the falls are right where that river goes from a narrow river into a wide river. That is a falls directly ahead. So I'll cut across this peninsula here, which I do believe is, you know, named the King George Peninsula. There's the tip of King George Peninsula.
Estimating local time 2848, sorry.
Velocity 1566, thanks. Your S, thanks for that. Cleared down by triple, climb flight level 1 at 9.
King George River, straight ahead. I think I've got the island that performs
route flight 190. Velocity 1566.
That's got to be the top. It's got to be the King George River. Is it this one or the next one down? It's the first one. Definitely is the first one. So I've spotted those islands. We need to kind of turn the aircraft ever so slightly to the left.
Velocity 1566, identified, verified level.
Maintain flight level 190.
Velocity 1566. Cafe 3129, contact center 125.2, see ya.
That's potentially rather disappointing. I think the falls aren't there.
Cafe 3129, contact center 125.2.
That's got to be them there. It's a rather flat bit of river. It should be a 200-foot drop. That's got to be the island that forms the middle of the falls. Right here. Falls into the thing and then runs off down that way. Isn't that King George River right there? Looks right on the map. You're right, we missed him. How did we do that? What river is that? Oh, we're way up here. Okay. Dang. I'm gonna go back. We're about two rivers far away.
Pilot 498 AFM, just report back.
Will do, thank you.
Velocity 1566, star clearance available. Velocity 1566, star clearance available.
It's there, isn't it? It's going to read about Kalumburu, see if we have any fuel down there. I don't think there is. No telephone. And possibility of stock, i.e. cows and sheep, on the runway at Kalumburu.
We're actually with you.
Oh my god, the prodigal son returns. Are you going to maintain 180?
So repeat that to the Alpha Kilo.
Are you going to maintain 180?
We'll climb up.
Zulu Alpha Kilo, climb flight level 220. Zulu Alpha Kilo, climb flight level 220.
Actually, we have to disconnect with Zulu.
No. Fresh.
Alright, guys, just later. Ciao. Now I feel disgusted with friends.
It's all good.
USR 002. Really? I've created about 5 times. Doesn't know where it is. Fine, we'll just do it the other way. .18 miles to go. Yes, what if the plane skids on some cow dung? Well, I do believe that would be your department toilet. It is a cow's toilet after all.
Bravo Julia, Whiskey Brisbane Centre, g'day, climb flight level 390.
That's only 00. 002, USR 002. There it is. Cool. Yep, running the new yoke. It's not too bad. We haven't used the autopilot at all today. Just using trim and the yoke itself. That looks more like a big river in a gorge, doesn't it? There's the gorge. And there's the river before it hits the gorge. So the falls are about somewhere around between there and the gorge.
So final runway 10 extra mark Foxtrot.
Is your runway dirt?
Yes.
These are the King George Falls.
84 feet.
And for King George, the first, second, third, fourth, or any other number you want to talk about, it's probably the third or fourth. I'd imagine it'd be fourth actually, because this wasn't explored until the early 1800s. So it's pre-Victoria, but not the 17th century. We of course have Joseph Bonaparte Golf
to the
up
helipad.
ahead. So
We'll go extra mark Foxtrot.
a floating wall. Interesting.
Extra mark Foxtrot is vacated all runway. Kalumburu traffic.
That cloud shadow is just in the wrong place right now. Traffic King of George Falls, Dutchess, Kilo Hotel at King George Falls, 3,500. Doing air work with left-hand surface of the falls between 2,500 and 4,500 until time 40.
Traffic King George Falls, Victor Tango X-Ray Diamond DA62 overhead Key Falls. We are at
It really needs to join the river up.
and we are going to follow the other aircraft here because it's vatsim and I'm allowed to do
It
that.
would be nice to see the river actually coming over the cliff there. I know they do dry up occasionally, these falls, but during the wet season you get this massive split river that just like splits in half, falls over the river in 2 bits and then comes back into a single stream again. We'll make a descending turn down to 2005.
And a deer just ran straight into my propeller.
Yeah, it probably will look pretty good in Microsoft Flight
That's
Sim 2020.
your problem. But did you run it over?
So you can see another big chunky gorge. Essentially a waterfall is a gorge in the making. So, so far the waterfall has created a gorge from there all the way back to there. And it's still working on this bit. And eventually that'll probably continue all the way through into wherever the source of the river is. It'll be a little bit like Catherine Gorge. Except instead of being way inland, it's right here on the coastline. Of course, the implication is at some point in the past, this river would have been waterfall right about here, right before the bay. It was just fallen off into the bay there. Of course, back then that bay might not have existed, so it probably would have had to push all the way up into the sea before it actually met the sea. Don't know how big the Oz V2 file is. It's not something that's easy to determine. Many megabytes, and a gigabyte, sorry. At a guess it'll be something like 40 to 100 gigabytes, but it's a guess. Download it. What would have been cool is to have that river just join up and then have a little bit of a, you know, smoky effect right there. What we should have had is something like that. Anyhow, little bit of a disappointment. It wasn't quite as bad as I thought it was. Well, at least it's not flat. But the river didn't make it all the way up to its waterfall. So. Anyhow, I'm going to go into the flight plan, delete that one. And we'll track it direct to Kalumburu.
Hotel Kilo India, this is Victor Tank X-ray. Does that gorge that we just flew over get much action from a bald fat guy, and his pointy head son jumping across on a skateboard?
Don't recognise the reference. Who's that?
Homer Simpson.
I don't recognise Kalumburu. Where is Kalumburu? Just type the word Kalumburu into nothing. Kalumburu even have an airport? We didn't find a Kalumburu. We did find a Parks. That's the closest we got to Kalumburu. We didn't find Orange because there's no scenery for it. We did find a Bathurst though. So I've been to Parks, been to Orange. Been to Young. Cowra has a VOR but no airport. Well, has an airport but no good scenery for it. So I've been around there, Young, Parks and Bathurst, but I'm afraid I didn't even know that Kalumburu had an airfield, and at the moment I still suspect it doesn't. Yeah, across the pond wasn't too bad at all. Getting into the old Kanakistan. Alright, new time for the arrival will be in about 10 minutes from now. 1280. Kalumburu. Kalumburu, that's what I said. We need to descend before we get to those clouds. I think in 2005 should do it. Runway 10. Traffic Kalumburu, Hotel Kilo, India is a Beechcraft Dutchess at 4,000 feet on descent to 2,500. We'll be entering traffic at Kalumburu for runway 10, estimates circuit time 5-2. Traffic Kalumburu.
Hotel Kilo, India, Brisbane Centre, good day, now reported or observed traffic, and the area QNH is 1011.
QNH 1011, that's our cloud. Literally broadcast on the wrong frequency, that's right. Traffic Kalumburu, Hotel Kilo, India is a Beechcraft Dutchess at 3,000 feet on descent 2,500 to join the runway 10, estimated circuit time 5-2, traffic Kalumburu.
Trev, have you invented some new magic stream that is ahead of time? Because I heard your call on the stream before I heard it over radio.
You know, I just broadcast on the wrong frequency, that's all. Mixture a little bit richer. Okay, briefing will be landing on runway 10. It's a left-hand circuit. We'll join from the downwind. Looking to get the gear down in the downwind. We'll do the pre-checks, and we'll be doing a fairly short final, probably about 1.5 to 2 miles. Once you get there on the ground, the position to vacate the runway is about halfway through. Any luck, we'll be stopped before we get there, and we'll be able to turn off fairly quickly. Cairns to Darwin is in about 1 hour, maybe slightly less than 1 hour. Let's see, whenever the ATC comes online, really. Yeah, you could do it. You could start it now. So if you wanted to jump on now, but the official start time is in about 1 hour from now. 1 hour 15. Yeah, 6 PM is about right. Indeed, why not? I think I'll be flying the 717 today, because also why not? I know since the dreaded Logie, that we're not allowed to talk about on YouTube without getting demonetized, the disease, 717s aren't flying anywhere at the moment, but I want to fly the 717 because I haven't done it for a long time, because it always crashed P3D, and I've just released an update last week that will stop that crash from happening. So it'll be good to see. So
Traffic
717.
Victor Tango X-ray, a Diamond DA62, 18 nautical miles to the northwest of the field, inbound for on arrival on whichever runway is in operation, at 2,300 estimating circuit time 5-3, traffic en route.
If you don't know the runway, just skip that detail, but it will be runway 10.
10, thanks, Trent.
I'm not sure about P3D version 5 yet. I think I'll save my money and we'll take up the new Microsoft offering when that comes out sometime in the late year into next year. Yeah, my usual trick is if I can't remember the runway we're going for, we just omit it on the initial call and look it up before you get there.
Fair enough.
Entering the circuit at time blah blah blah. Circuit for what runway? Yeah, that's right, one of them. The mysterious circuit. Yeah, that's pretty much right. $60 for an upgrade of, you know, it's incremental changes. It doesn't really do much for us. I'm quite happy with the version 4.5 that we're running at the moment. And until we get, you know, photographic realism on the ground, where we can go to King George Falls and actually see a waterfall instead of, you know, whatever that was. Time 52 or so, estimate 3 minutes out. I'll begin our descent down to 1,000 feet. The altimeter should be 1008. Alright, so Kalumburu is a small indigenous community that was at one stage in World War II actually bombed by Japanese. Kalumburu is quite famous for having a lot of sandstone caves around the community. So you'll see that we're on a flat plateau, but there's a bunch of mountains around and there's lots of sandstone caves in those mountains. So apparently during the bombing of Kalumburu, which is a thing that happened, as crazy as that sounds, when Kalumburu was bombed by the Japanese, a lot of the Aborigines escaped into the caves, and apparently one of the aircraft was shot down and crashed. And apparently there's a crashed, I think it's a B-24 Liberator or some kind of World War II bomber that crashed coming into Kalumburu airfield in about 1943-44. And the wreckage of it is still there in the bush. It's one of the tourist attractions of Kalumburu. You can go and have a trek out and have a look at the crashed World War II bomber. So yeah, a bit of Kalumburu history and a bit of World War II history in this town.
I'm just hearing your history lesson about Kalumburu off the frame. Fun fact, the reason it was bombed was the Japanese were setting up for an invasion of Kalumburu.
Of course, why else would they bomb it?
To annoy us and try and do what the Germans did with England.
Let's bomb it for no reason, as it's there. Traffic Kalumburu, Hotel Kilo India is joining downwind runway 10. See those mountains
Pretty sure
with
the
the
Japanese
caves?
actually landed on an Australian beach. They didn't really like it too much and went back to one of the islands off the coast.
Yeah, some of our beaches are a bit bad. Crocodiles. Right, landing gear coming down.
Who needs guns when you can have a big jaw?
Okay. Brakes are released, undercarriage is down. Mixture fully rich. Props fully forward. Fuel is set for both. Seats and harnesses are secure. Checklist complete. And at 1,000 feet we'll take 10 flaps. Flaps 20. Traffic Kalumburu. Hotel Kilo India turning base, runway 10. Bit more power on. Relax the grip a little bit.
Traffic Kalumburu, Victor Tango X-ray is turning downwind, runway 10.
Traffic Kalumburu, Hotel Kilo India, final runway 10. Let's go full flap.
Tonight, Trent doesn't know what plane he's going to fly. I fly a plane that doesn't exist, and everyone gets a history lesson.
$177. Not too bad.
Traffic Kalumburu, Victor Tango X-ray is turning base for runway 10.
Traffic Livery, Hotel Kilo India, vacated, runway 10. Alright, where will we park? Everyone's here. Get the flaps up first.
That's odd, on your screen it's raining, but on my screen it's not, despite me now having Activesky.
Currently showing the live weather. Mine sometimes drops into historical weather if I lose internet connection.
On vatsim, so I don't think you've lost internet connection.
Yeah, but if you've lost internet connection any time since you last pressed the click on live weather is active button, Activesky will just forget that you've ever been online. Check it out after you land.
traffic, Kalumburu, Victor Tango X-ray is on final runway 10.
Okay, 1000 RPM sitting, parking brake is set. Keep the door closed because it's raining. Right, we're going to shut down there and reduce that to 0. Alright, here we are at Kalumburu. Nice little airfield, we've got the aircraft tied down already. Just going to go ahead and shut the front door. And that's us done for this flight. Thanks for joining us on the Around Australia GA event. Not really an event. There's Lachlan vacay in the runway. Just using the Control Shift and E to walk around there. So just using P3D version 4. Hold down the Shift button and the Control button. Press letter E and then you can use the ASWD buttons to move them around. Anyway, with that we'll head over to the flight clubhouse. Make our way into town. I have been Musical Aviator. And I'll see you guys next time we do Take to the Skies. Hope you've had a wonderful Easter. And I'll see you guys next time. Blake pulls and seeing the FTX livery. Yep, that's right, out of Adelaide. So, yeah. I'll see you guys next time we do fly. Catch you. Ciao for now.